People, Deluded. I'm here with a special guest, Arsenal's very own Matthew Dennis. How you doing, Matt, man? How you doing, my guy?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Quarantine's been boring, though. But yeah, man, it's good. It's good.
Right, straight out the blocks, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you on lockdown. Let me ask you about lockdown. What you been up to during lockdown as much as you can do?
Obviously, been out at like training and been playing on PS4 a lot as well. Obviously, eating the right foods, not being too unhealthy. But yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. Yeah.
So I take it you've just had like stuff set by the club for you to do and
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
What have you? I see you in the park right now. You've probably been doing some 5K runs and things, innit?
Yeah, that's it. I just finished. So yeah.
You picked the wrong day to do that as well, because I went to the shop.
It's true. It's true, man. It's true.
Oh, see, no sweat on you.
Man. I know. No, I just dried up, man. Got my towel and everything as well.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you, man. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna make this too long for you. I'm sure you want to go home, shower, eat, probably sleep, and do whatever you need to do. But yeah, man. Obviously, you've just touched on lockdown. How do you feel the season was going for you personally and as a team before, obviously, the season got cancelled?
Now, obviously, it was a tough start, innit? Because we were playing with the young boys. Our chemistry wasn't really like 100%. So we had a slow start at the start of the season, and we gradually got on. But for me, it was quite hard for me because I'm carrying a little injury, which is called like patellar tendonitis. So I'm not really too familiar with it, but it's hard for me to like be consistent.
Okay.
But it's got better at the end. So yeah, it was hard for me.
Obviously, like you're not a doctor in that.
Yeah.
What's that injury about? Is it something that just stays with you forever? Or is it what's going on?
It could stay with you forever because I've got it on both knees, right? So depends how worse it gets. Depends how bad it gets. But yeah.
Oh man, were they saying surgery or something?
Fam, I can't even have surgery on it.
Oh, it's one of them ones.
It's one of them ones. You have to cope with it, man.
Because I mean, it's probably not like Oscar Slatters, but I had that when I was younger, and it
that's
made
still
my
bad.
knees stiff and that. Is it like that?
Yeah, that's still bad. Nah, it's worse than that, bro.
Swear.
Yeah.
I proper never knew that, man. When did you first get that? Did you find it out this year?
Bro, no, when I was the first year playing with the second years, like Tyrese and that. Yeah, that's when it started like mingling. But then I only had it on one knee then. Now I have it on both knees.
Bro, how did you find out? Like, was you just in pain and you went to the physio and they told you what going?
Bro, at the start, it wasn't as bad at the start, and then I started in training, and I thought it was just a little miggle, like it's gonna go in a bit, but it just stayed, and it got worse and worse throughout the months and that. But yeah.
Swear, that's a madness. Yeah. So all the time I've been watching you and praising your performance.
I've been in pain.
You've been in pain, like running on adrenaline and that. Man.
Yeah. So I'm playing like you could say 60%.
Swear.
I'm always feeling pain, bro.
So how are you like gonna like? Do you have to change the way you play? Has it changed the way you do things in training?
Bro, it's 100, man. It's changed the way I play, man. I have to adapt because I can't explain to you, but it's, what's it called? I can't even train 100% as well. Because if I have a game tomorrow and I train today, I don't want to train full out 100% because it might affect the way I feel tomorrow for the game. And that's not good because in training, you always have to give 100%. You get me? So yeah, man, it's been a challenge.
No, that's for me. That's flipped this whole interview, bro. Because like, you know, I see you play. You're physical. You're tenacious, box to box, and all this time, 60%. You just flipped the whole interview for me, man. It's like I'm mad confused, and it just makes me commend you more, man. It's like,
no one knows, isn't it? So, but that's the thing, because no one knows. What's it called? That's why. What's it called? I forgot the word, but yeah. Let's move on. Yeah, I forgot the word.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Is that the first sort of mad injury you've had in your career?
That's the first mad injury, bro.
Swear.
First. Yeah, 100%, man.
How do you get around that mentally, though? Like, last question on this injury stuff.
It's mad, fam. Because one time, I'm going to be real. Like, I was going to tell, like, my dad, I don't want to play football anymore. That's how mad it was getting, bro.
Swear.
Yeah, man, it was bad, bro. Now it's got better. It's not, bro, it used to be worse, but it's got better. But it was so bad, I was going to tell my dad I don't want to play football anymore.
Like, you can't because you're in pain and that. Like,
yeah, bro. But yeah, it's got better now, way better, 100%.
I'm happy to hear that. Well, I'm not happy to hear about your injury, but I'm
happy
you're coping with it somehow, man. Yeah. That's tough. And like I said, man, it's really hard to focus on this interview now, knowing that with you. But yeah, man. Wait, before we carry on with Arsenal and that and how it. No, sorry. Before we even get on with that, you was talking about how it's gone for you, excluding the injury, how it's gone for you. This season.
Or how it's gone for me.
Yeah, excluding the injury and that. Like, how's the season just gone purely from a footballing on the field sort of thing wise?
It's been good. It's been. Do you mean like in a matches, training sessions? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just how you feel. How you feel you've played. How you feel it's been for a season for you. Do you feel a better player now than 12 months ago? You know, because as a fan, I think you have been. You've been a standout performer in that. But it's one thing me saying it. Is the next thing the man himself speaking on.
Yeah, I think I've done all right, but I know I could have done better. 100%, 100%, way better. I could have. Obviously, I've improved as a player, but I know I could have improved way more. If you know what I mean.
What is it? I guess the injuries is the reason as to why you feel you can't go on a little bit more in that.
Yeah, 100%.
What's been your favourite games at under 18s level this year, though?
My favourite game is probably Chelsea. The second time we played them, I think it was in a cup. I don't know, I'm not sure. Probably Aston Villa away, where we won about like 6, something like that, 6-3, 6-4, something like that.
Why was the Chelsea game good?
Chelsea game, no, that was good because we're playing against a really good opponent. So you learn more. It was mad intense and it was challenging. If you get me. But yeah, it was good, man. And obviously Southampton, and probably that's it. Yeah, probably that's it. Yeah, man. Obviously, man. Come on.
Talk us through that goal. That was a madness. Talk us through it, man.
I don't even know, man. Obviously,
what's going through your head when you received it? Like, yeah, bro.
Oh, that's so because I don't know. Because obviously, I was on the bench, and you want to prove like people wrong. Like you're angry. I came on with that kind of mentality. I want to prove people wrong.
That's the way I should have started.
And then, yeah, stuff like that. But that's football, anyways. You got to come over that. But yeah, that's what kind of came over my head, and I thought, yeah, let me do something. You know what I'm saying? Remember did you see the first shot I had? Where it went the bar? That was my angry shot. I wanted to let everything out in that one. That was stupid of me, but yeah. It was like that, man. Yeah, man.
Oh, man. What's your feelings on the FA Youth Cup anyways, though, this season for Arsenal, though, man?
I mean, because we never had like a good start on like the league games, I was quite surprised. I'm not even going to lie. We actually dug in and got to like, was it the quarterfinals?
Something like that. Quite decent.
Yeah, we actually did quite well. I'm not even gonna lie. And then what was it? Who did we play? Blackburn. I was injured for that game, anyways. I mean, I'm not too sure, but the lads tried in that game as well. But it was quite hard. And a lot of young players in that game as well. Like there was a boy, Maru, under 16, was in that game as well.
Good player.
And I think that was his first start.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, man.
Can't expect too much, sort of thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So take me back to, obviously you're at Arsenal now, we're talking about FA Youth Cup, but where did football start for you? How did you start kicking ball, man?
This was when I was like 2, 3. That's when I started loving the game. Like my dad used to play football, innit? And I used to go and watch him all the time, and just like I just loved it. And then my dad started noticing it, so then I joined a team called Milton Keynes. This was in like Bedford. Then I got scouted by MK. I used to play football everywhere. I used to go to London to play football. Bedford.
Oh, you're not from London?
Nah, I'm from London, man. I was born and raised in London. But but yeah, man. And then I got a child with MK Dons, Chelsea. I was at QPR at one point. But yeah.
What, was you signed for MK Dons and then you went to Arsenal, or was it you was trying?
Yeah, no. I signed for. I don't know if I signed. I think I trialed with MK Dons. I trialed with MK Dons, Chelsea, QPR, like all of them. Then I picked Arsenal.
Oh, you had it like that. You had a choice of club to pick from.
Yeah.
What made you pick Arsenal?
Because like the coaches, like the youth development, like I enjoyed it as well, and my dad thought the same thing as well. And yeah, football is about enjoying it. And really, when I was at Arsenal, when I tried at Arsenal, I enjoyed it there. Like, yeah.
Was it the technical sessions and all them things in comparison?
Yeah, man, it was fun. It was good.
How old was you at this point?
Like 6, 7, 6, something like that.
Do you remember the trial? Much about it, apart from how good it was?
No. I remember that.
Obviously, you're not a North London lad, and obviously it's quite to become a professional footballer. You rely a lot on support network, mums, dads, whoever. It's like 3-4 times a week. What was the journey like for you? From how many hours was it a day and per session that you was going to and things like? What did you have to go through in that regard?
Back then, when I was trialing for like Arsenal and like the London clubs, I used to travel like an hour or an hour and a half because I used to live in, like I said, Bedford. But I was born and raised in London. We moved to Bedford and lived there. That's when my football became serious. And then obviously I travelled with people and all of them. And then when it got kind of serious, we moved back to London. And then that's when I signed with Arsenal and stuff like that. Yeah.
Makes sense, man. Obviously, what's it like going through the academy system? I asked this because obviously you've come in at about 6. I'd say probably 9 or 10 years from that point, it gets to under 15, 16s where it's scholarship time. Do you remember much about the scholarship time and who's going to get scholars, who's not? Am I going to get, am I not? What was going through your head at this moment?
Nah, this was a point where I wasn't even too sure if I was going to get a scholarship because I don't know. And my head wasn't really around that. I'm not too sure. But when it came to under 16s and stuff, I got like a 50-50. I wasn't really going to get because of my attitude.
Swear.
My attitude wasn't good. And so then probably when I heard that, I thought, I need to pattern up, innit? So then one game, I think what made their mind up was a game against Tottenham, and I think I bagged 2. And I played really well in that game. And then the other couple of weeks came by and they told me to come in for a meeting. And that's when I got my scholar.
Do you remember what it felt like being told, going into that meeting and then being told, yo, you're signing scholarship?
Obviously, man, you feel good, man. You feel good about yourself.
Was you trying to act like, not that it's not a privilege, but like you didn't want to show that you're too excited?
Yeah.
Like, but inside, you're like, yes.
100, man, 100. But you're gassed. Scholarship for Arsenal Football Club, you're gassed. But you didn't want to say too much, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously, I'm happy that you got that, and I'm happy to keep seeing you progressing. But on the flip side, you know, as you lot know, football is very cutthroat. What's it like seeing people that have been at the club as long as you, or if not longer, not get scholarships, or, you know, being told they have to go and trial at other clubs? And I know all you footballers keep in contact. How tough is it seeing that with your mates and that?
Man, you're shocked because I've been with, like, you know, Bukayo Saka, there's Alfie Matthews, I've been with them for like 12 years. Like, they're like family to you. But then people like, what's it called? Like, you wouldn't know him. Like, there's loads of lads like Oli Tan, all of them. When you get told that they can't be at the club anymore, obviously it hits you because you've been with them for years. And it's different. It's different. They're like family to you, you know what I'm saying? And you don't see them anymore and stuff like that. So it's like a shock.
It's sad, man. It's sad.
Yeah, man.
So obviously you've got your scholarship now. You're going into under 18s football. Obviously, what shocked you from a footballing wise, going in from 16s to playing 18s? Was it the pace, tactics, physicality? You know, what was it?
Bro, everything. Like, you have to mature. Like, even in the games, like, the football's more intense as well. It's more grown up. From under 16s, like school football, but good football at the same time. But when you hit under 18s, you're playing against older boys. It was a big change, and you have to what's it called? Yeah, mature quickly. You have to because I was childish back in the day. I was really childish. But then like when I went to Coney, that really taught me I had to like mature and be grown up a bit more. And yeah.
It's good to hear that, man. Obviously, what shocks you the most off the field? Because you go from living with family for, obviously you're growing up with your mum and dad and whatnot, and then you live in digs. What's that like? What's living in a completely different area like? And, you know, this is it now. If you want to be a pro baller, it's all up to you. There's no mum, dad, brothers, sisters, man, them, whatever.
Bro, that's fam. digs is different because the food's different, everything's different, mad different.
No rice and
And
peas in that.
nah, none of that, bro. So when you go back home, you're obviously happy when the rice and peas is getting cooked. But when the digs I moved into was a great digs. The people like they took care of me and stuff. Like I loved it there. I thought I wasn't gonna like digs, but it was really good. And not seeing your brother and sister all the time. Yeah, obviously that's a bit mad, but yeah. And your friends from your neighborhood and stuff like that. But yeah.
What was it like making? Like I said, this season I think you've made some good progress. You've scored some decisive goals. You made your under-23s debut. What's the football like at that level? What are you feeling like after making your debut now? Because you've just told me how much of a jump 60s and 18s was. So God knows what 23s.
Yeah. That's even a bigger jump, bro. When I told you the intensity is mad, quick. No joking about in that game. No joking about. Like you have to concentrate every second. You can't slip off your concentration. You're always thinking, looking, and everything like that. So yeah, man.
Did you set yourself any targets at the start of the year?
Nah, not really. You know. Nah, that's what I need to do next season.
Yeah.
Tell
us a target for next year.
What, right now?
Yeah, not your main one, but one of them.
Probably in and around like training with the first team, stuff like that. That's probably my target. And being consistent on the pitch.
Have you trained with the first team before?
Yeah, I've trained with the first team, yeah.
What, how many times? Like once, twice, 3 times?
Twice, I think, yeah, twice.
Look at him trying to play it down like it's nothing. Like you got to take the ball in that. Look at him. This guy.
No, it was bad. You're
what player shocked you? Like, was you like, wow, like I knew you're a baller, but you're a baller, or I need to take bits out of your game to add it to mine, sort of thing?
I say, Özil, baller. That guy makes football look. He makes it look easy. Makes it look easy. Like his vision, and he looks so controlled on the ball. He's composed. Everything, baller, man.
Swear. Who else was ballers for you?
Like all of them are top players, but like I liked Pepe as well when I played with him.
Ooh, well, that must have been lovely to play with. Silky.
Yeah, skillful, man. Skillful. And I'm a player, I love doing skills. I love it, innit? So I look up to Pepe, man. He's really good. Yeah.
Obviously, you said you like to have fun doing football, and I think that's perfect. And you've mentioned skills. When you speak, I see someone that's very expressive and likes to express themselves for obvious reasons. Why is that important on a football field? Because you don't hear many young players actually just say what you said, even though it is what you should be doing ultimately.
Yeah, no. But
mad.
It's mad. At the end of the day, football is about enjoying yourself, innit? And that. Well, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I just enjoy skills. I don't know why. I don't know.
What's your favourite skill?
There's a skill I used to do that. There's no name to it. Like I would flick it over people's heads. Like, I would scoop it. There's no name over it, but yeah. I'll probably show you though. I'll send you a video.
Yeah, go on. You let me down, but I thought he was gonna say Cruyff turn. For me, that's the don't boy the Cruyff turn, man. Cruyff turn the best thing, simple and effective, man. You've gone.
That's basic.
Either that or elastic. Allow me, I'm a right back, man. Don't see us doing mad skills in that, man.
No, man.
Speaking of right back, I've seen you play right back, wing, centre mid. You know, you played everywhere. Where do you feel? Obviously, you will play where the manager wants because you're happy to do that. Yeah, but if you was picking the team or in an ideal world, or where do you feel most comfortable playing?
Centre mid. I've played, centre mid. Throughout the years, under 14s, I played centre back, right back, left wing, right wing, centre mid, cam, CDM, striker. I played striker before.
Raw.
But I like centre mid, man.
What is it for centre? What is without the obvious reasons? Why is it centre mid for you? What is it you like about it?
Like I don't know. Just you're more involved with the game. You're always involved with the game, and you're always constantly. You receive the ball a lot in midfield as well. Yeah, and because I've played everywhere, I kind of know like what I really like. So I'd say centre mid. But yeah,
in that position, what do you think's what do you think is the most important aspects for a centre mid to have?
Fitness, box to box. You have to have that. You have to have vision. You have to be tidy on the ball, smart. Like your awareness needs to be good, and you have to think quick. So quick thinking kind of position. You get me? But yeah, man.
What would you say your strengths and weaknesses as a player, or a strength and a weakness as a player?
I say like my ball control, my strength, and I think my weakness probably consistency.
Because of the injury and whatnot, it's you're not able to do that in that respect.
Yeah, man.
It's a sad thing, man. Hopefully you get over them injuries. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I wanted to be a baller. I can only imagine what it's like being an Arsenal footballer with things. So what is actually, for you, what's the best thing? Like, there's hella things, but what's the best thing about being in that environment and kicking ball for Arsenal and all these things?
I don't even know, you know. I'm used to it. Like, Arsenal's a big club, yeah? And we take it for granted that we're in such a good position. It's mad. But, like, everywhere you go, like, if I'm training in the park and I have an Arsenal top and they see you got, like, technical, they'll be like, do you play for Arsenal? Like, it's such a privilege, you know what I'm saying? That's mad. But, yeah, man.
And I could see when you was answering that question, the smile you had, and you didn't know where to pinpoint it. Yeah, it must be mad. Like it must be crazy, man. Obviously,
you never forget about it.
You definitely never forget about it. Obviously, I'd like to ask, what's the best piece of advice you've been given in your career so far?
I'd say just about express yourself, like be yourself on the pitch. Like obviously work hard and stuff. Listen to coaches, good attitude. Yeah, one thing you need to do is listen to the coaches and do what they tell you to do, because then that builds trust with you and the coaches. And like, yeah, express yourself. And yeah, man, that's what I say.
Obviously, going back to under-23s football quickly, when you're obviously exposed to that on a more consistent level, generally it's young players, but it's a lot of players that aren't in the first team and that. But there's been a couple of occasions you personally have got to play against senior sides. Do you remember the game against Hitchin? I think it was pre-season. What's that like? That physically, that must have been an eye-opener.
Physical, man. Physical. Big. You're playing against men. They're physical, man. Real physical. Obviously, the intensity is all right as well. Hitchin, it was all right, the intensity. And it was just so physical. Like, they're on you. On your first touch, they're on you. It was mad.
Oh, man. What did you learn from that game in particular?
I learned, because I love dribbling the ball. Sometimes you got to mix it up. That's what I learned, man. Got to mix it up. They'll kick to you and stuff like that, man.
And you just have to keep going. And it must have been, that game must have been mad. Obviously, man. Finally, I'd like to ask you, kind of going back to the question I asked you before that under-23s thing. What do you think, for any aspiring young player that's trying to play for Arsenal or, you know, become an established pro, for you, what do you think is the most important aspect you need? Like, is it, what would it be for you? Is it mental? Is it resilience? Is it, what would it be?
I would say mentality, determination, like stuff like that. I would say that's the most important thing.
Why them two in particular?
Because if you have the right mentality, coaches will trust you, and that's all you need in football. If you want to make it somewhere, you have to have trust in coaches and stuff like that, and determination to like always get better. You know what I'm saying? And good attitude as well. I say, yeah.
That's a fantastic way of answering, my guy, man. It's been fantastic speaking to you, but you obviously you're in the park, you finished your session. I'm sure you're freshening yourself up. So on behalf of everybody listening, I'd like to say thank you for this, my guy, man.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's cool, man. Respect, man.
Obviously, man. I'm not going to take up any more of your time, man. So peace out,
man. Cool, man. Cool, dude.
Say nothing, man.